Cobra Kai is a new television series on YouTube Red, and when I first heard about it, I didn't really think I was going to give it a chance. I mean, I like the Karate Kid movies, but 34 years after the first movie, I didn't really know why I needed to see where these characters had gone. However, now that I've tried all 10 episodes of Cobra Kai, I really think that you need to be watching this. And if you're a fan of the Karate Kid, I'm going to give you all the reasons why you should check out Cobra Kai right now. The first thing that struck me is that it's actually really fun to catch up with these characters and see where they are 34 years later. Now, nostalgia is used all the time for shows like Fuller House to bring back properties that people are just familiar with, and a lot of times they're just trading on the fact that you know the name of the property. So of course, people are checking out Cobra Kai because it's associated with the Karate Kid. However, this TV show isn't just nostalgia. Ralph Macchio looks like he could, still compete in the All Valley Karate Tournament, and Billy Zabka, it was just fun to see him plug back into that role and to catch up with where he's been. He's not a regular actor, and we don't see him in a lot of projects. Actually, both of them aren't really working on a ton of things in general. So to see both of them working again in something like Cobra Kai was, yes, nostalgic, but also pretty exciting and a lot of fun. The second reason why I'd recommend Cobra Kai is because the executive producers behind this series are true fans of the first three Karate Kid movies, and they prove that to us by pulling out all of these references that fans of the series are going to recognize. But the best part about it is they're not ham-fisted. They don't beat us over the head with blatantly obvious references. They find ways to sort of weave these nods to the original movies back into the story and actually make them relevant to this new story that they're trying to tell. A lot of times when we get to these stories, we're just like hit over the head so many times with, don't you remember this? Don't you remember this? Oh, isn't this really funny? We're bringing it up again. Cobra Kai has figured out a way to bring up all of these clever, smart references, funny references to the original movies that if you are a true fan of those first three Karate Kid movies and you know them inside and out, you're going to really smile at a lot of the ways that they bring back clever things that you never thought you'd think of again. While nostalgia and references to the old movies is super important, the only reason why Cobra Kai works and why I would recommend it is because the new story that they're trying to advance is actually compelling, and by the time you get into the fourth or fifth episode, you want to sort of follow through to see where this story is going. Now, obviously, I don't want to get too far into spoilers because I really do want you to watch this yourself. But there are a lot of new characters that are introduced that surround Daniel and Johnny and their new conflict. And they're played by a lot of younger actors. But there's a dynamic of how those three kids sort of interact in high school. A dynamic about how they interact as members of the different dojo. Because Cobra Kai dojo is brought back and Daniel starts to get back into karate. And I was just as interested in those stories as I was in the conflict between Daniel and Johnny. Like, that might be our entranceway into Cobra Kai, but once I was there and the story thread started to lay out, I found that I was just as compelled to find out where the kid's story was going as I was to see how the conflict between Daniel and Johnny was being resolved or expanded. And I think once you start to give Cobra Kai a few episodes, you're going to be hooked by the story of the young kids as well. But the final and probably most important reason why I think you should be checking out Cobra Kai is that the last scene of the last episode of season 1 is such a good hook for where this story is going to go in season 2 that I think casual fans who love the movies and really liked what happened in this first season are going to be so compelled to keep going. And in this age of binge-worthy television, we're so at the point where, like, once you get to the end of something, you want to keep going. And I'm telling you, in all honesty, as soon as I got to the end of season 1 of Cobra Kai, I wanted season 2 to be here right away. Now, I don't want to tell you what it is because it's a huge spoiler. Here's what I can tell you about season 2. We know that it's coming in 2019. They've done a little bit of filming for it and they're still writing it, but it's definitely not ready to go. But the producers behind it know that fan enthusiasm for season 1 of Cobra Kai has been super high. They want to deliver something high quality for season 2, and as soon as it's ready, they're going to drop it. Cobra Kai season 1 seems to be really enjoyable for people who are diehard fans of the Karate Kid series, but it's also compelling enough that if you are a casual fan or never saw a Karate Kid movie, I think you would actually like this show too. If you want all the information that we have on Cobra Kai season 1 or looking ahead to season 2, of course check out CinemaBlend.com. And if you like what you saw in this video, hit subscribe.